Let's talk about Finnish. You've probably heard that it's this incredibly difficult, almost impossible language to learn. But what if that's not the whole story? What if it's not just hard, but actually underneath it all, it's super elegant and surprisingly logical? Today, we're going to take a closer look and demystify it together.
Yeah, I mean, it gets this reputation for a reason. You hear about it having no gender, no future tense, and this huge number of cases, and it can feel pretty intimidating, almost like trying to crack a secret code. And that's the key right there. It's not that it's illogical, it just follows a different kind of logic. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to treat Finnish like a set of Lego blocks. We'll learn a few key pieces, see how they snap together, and I promise by the end of this, you'll be building your own sentences. Let's dive in. Okay, first things first. We have to start somewhere, right? So let's learn how to talk about, well, talking. This is going to be our foundational block for everything else we build today. Here's our very first Lego piece. Puhun. It means I speak. And hey, here's a little trick to remember it. Just think of Winnie the Pooh and then stick an N on the end. Puhun. Puhun. Easy enough, right? Now let's build our first sentence. It's incredibly simple. We just take our verb, puhun, and add the word for the language itself, which is swarmia. You just snap them together and you get puhun swarmia. And just like that, you can now say, I speak Finnish. All right, let's make it a little more interesting. The word for a little is vähän. And to remember this one, just picture a really small van, vähän. Now we can slot this new piece right into the sentence we just made. So let's pause for a second. You have all the blocks you need. How would you put them together to say, I speak a little Finnish? Think about the order. And there it is, puhun vähän suomea. You see that? You just built a totally solid sentence by snapping together three simple pieces. The system, the logic, it's already starting to click. Okay, so what about the opposite? How do you say no? This is pretty cool. Instead of a word like don't, Finnish has a special no verb. For I, that verb is en. And here's the rule. You just start with en, then you take our main verb, puhon, and you just drop the n off the end. So it becomes puhu. En puhu. I don't speak. It's that consistent. All right, let's move on to our next big idea. And for this one, I need you to forget everything you know about words like in, at, or on. Seriously, Finnish just doesn't really use them. Instead, it glues endings directly onto words. So our example word is going to be luokka, which means class or classroom. Just get that word in your head, luokka. And here is that gluing idea in action. To say in the class, you take luka and you literally glue the ending sa right onto it. It becomes one single word, lukasa. There's no separate word for in. It's all baked right into the noun itself. But this is where the logic gets even cooler. The ending you use actually depends on the type of location. Think about it. You are physically inside a classroom, so you use that sa ending. But you're on the surface of a street, right? The word for street is katu. So you use a different ending, la. It becomes katula. It's a system that makes perfect physical sense. Okay, get ready, because this next one is a really fascinating shift in perspective. You see, Finnish doesn't have a verb for to have. This is where you can really see how a language can totally change how you express a really basic idea like possession. So, how do you say we have? You say this, literally, on us is. I know, it sounds really strange, but it shows a completely different way of thinking. Ownership isn't something you do. It's more like a state of being, where something is located on you. Let's break that down so it makes sense. Me means we, and when you add the right ending, mila becomes on us. The word on just means is. So mila on literally means on us is. Then you just say what you have. Istava means friend. So mila on istava translates literally to on us is a friend, but what it really means is we have a friend. Pretty neat, huh? All right, it's time for the final challenge. We've learned our building blocks for speaking, for location, and for that tricky idea of possession. Now we're going to snap them all together and see what kind of complex sentences we can build. Okay, here's your first one. Think back. You know how to say, I speak a little Finnish, and you know how to say, on the street. Now, just put those two big ideas together. How would you do it? And there it is, puhun vähän suomea kadulla. The parts just click right into place. Each little piece does its job, and together they make a perfectly clear sentence. Okay, last one. This one's going to combine that wild possession concept with our location by gluing rule. So how would you say, we have a friend in the class? Remember, the literal translation, think
On us is a friend in the class.
And here's how it all comes together. Meillä on is a friend. And then you just add the location, luokassa, in the class. It feels a little strange at first, I know, but once you see that internal logic, it's so incredibly consistent. So let's just step back for a second and look at what you've done. In just a few minutes, you've learned the building blocks to talk about actions, possession, and location. You can now actually form complete, useful thoughts like, I speak a little Finnish, or we have a friend in the class. See? Not so scary after all, is it?
And really, that's the big takeaway here. Learning a language like Finnish isn't just about memorizing words. It's about learning a whole new way to look at the world. I mean, if a concept as basic as having something can be completely reimagined, it just makes you wonder, what other incredible perspectives are waiting for us, hidden deep inside the grammars of the world's languages?